Check out the bathroom. This is so nice for a train car. And this is the dining part. Check out these tables. So sweet. You can check out the view as you're going past all the beautiful scenery. That is so sweet.
And 118 feet across, 300 feet over Hurricane Creek. This was the largest obstacle to the completion of the Alaska Railroad. There's that great view straight up the gulch on the 9 o'clock. Now we can start to shift our attention as things will begin to open up here on the 3 o'clock side. That's Eldridge Glacier right there. And Denali, of course. So one of the most prominent mountains in the world, if not the most prominent, the third most prominent, depending on which way you measure the prominence. But there's a raven flying right through Denali. All single mainline track from Seward all the way up to Fairbanks. Now that's all dispatched by radio communications through Central Dispatch in Anchorage. But when it first opened, the conductor would have to stop at those call boxes and get authority for sections of the track by telegraph communication back to that Central Dispatch in Anchorage. Can't have more than one train heading in opposite directions at a time, so they get orders from where to take a siding and where that would happen from that telegraph system. We're going to pass the rock and then look back in this direction. As soon as we pass it, we're going to have a big open view. We'll look for salmon in the pools. There's some salmon in the pools right there, directly off the coast right now.
Oh, yes!
And then we'll pass the picnic bench. There'll be one more great view. And now we'll cross the bridge, which is also a really cool view. Boom. So about to cross the connect. That great view out towards Pioneer. The view right now, a little bit to the right to Twin Peaks, might be a little bit better today as well. A little bit more to the right. Forward, sweeping views over the Connect River. Behind us, on the other side of the highway bridge, there is the mouth of the Connect River and the beginning of the Connect Arm. Another way to put it would be the northernmost point in the Pacific Ocean. Imagine through south central Alaska, 131 dead due to the quake overall, most of them due to tsunamis further south and east of here. pretty amazing there weren't more deaths, especially in Anchorage. Only 2 large buildings in downtown Anchorage predate that 1964 quake. Some towns like Portage to the south of Anchorage, destroyed completely, never rebuilt. Railroad destroyed completely, rebuilt up the river. Seward, massive damage. Same in Valdez, areas all through the Prince William Sound, massive damage. Alaska, the most seismically active place on the planet. I always tell people to put me to that. Go ahead and check out the U.S. Geological Survey website. They have some great graphics there. You can pull up a map of Alaska, and they'll pick a time frame, 30 days, 6 months, and they'll plot all of the earthquakes in Alaska with a circle relative to the size of the earthquake. You'll see they're littered all over the state. And we don't hear about most of them just because they're not near population centers, but they do happen frequently. We are along the Rim of Fire, the Pacific Rim of Fire, and the Pacific Plate shoving into the North American Plate that's giving you the big uplift and the gorgeous mountain we got to see, Denali, same one that's responsible for all that movement and seismic activity. I often get questions about those trees and why they're still standing. They've been over 50 years, right? Anecdotally, I always said, well, the roots took on that salt too, and salt's a preservative often, so maybe that's the reason they're still standing. I found out a little bit more about how long they could stand, maybe not necessarily why they do. I was doing some reading about the Cascadia Fault in the Pacific Northwest, and that indeed holds the most potential for a devastating quake in the lower 48. The more famous San Andreas Fault only has an earthquake in the low 7s of magnitude, they figure. But the Cascadia Fault holds enough energy to have a quake of the similar magnitude to that 64 quake here. And 1 million people live within that fault, so unlike the amount of people that live just around here in the Prince William Sound now. Great place to look at a glacially carved U-shaped valley. Right? So if we look out, big flat bottom valley. And as glaciers retreat, as the one that sat here over our heads 30,000 years ago did, it carves out these big flat bottom valleys. This one happens to be quite fertile. In this valley, you have the breadbasket of Alaska. There's that eagle in here. About 70% of the agriculture that takes place in the state happens in this valley. And this weekend, at the foot of Pioneer Mountain, that's where the town of Palmer is. In Palmer, they host the state fair every end of August and beginning of September. And at that state fair, that's where they'll compete, bringing in all those big vegetables that have spent a good time this summer under nearly 24-hour light enjoying that amount of photosynthesis. And we're talking about gargantuan, cartoonish vegetables, 1,400-pound pumpkins, 140-pound cabbages, carrots as big as my arm. Things that we normally think of as cold weather crops do exceptionally well up here. Cabbage, pumpkins, peas, beets, potatoes, things like lettuces, kales, celery. They do really well out here and take advantage of all that sunlight.